Okay, this is the brief on Chen's really perilous journey into the ancient heavenly palace. Right, so we're diving into the latest from the Great Ruler. Our protagonist, Chen, he's getting ready for this epic quest, heading into some legendary, long-lost ruins to get his hands on some immense power. First up, Chen's critical goal. He absolutely needs the Divine Sun evolution method. It's a super powerful martial art that'll give him a massive strength boost. His ally, Muntor Lolo, hooked him up with a vital heavenly array map. Think of it like a really advanced magic map, guiding him through the treacherous ancient heavenly palace. For now, though, Chen's leading a small advance team, including his buddy Ju Yo, over to Shi City to gather some much-needed intel. But grabbing this power, yeah, it won't be easy. Second, the competition is fierce. Chen's up against some heavy hitters from all across the Tianluo continent. His main rival looks like Jia Lua, a top-ranked young prodigy from the demonic god temple. Plus, you've got tons of other powerful groups and legendary fighters converging there, including Mantua Lolo's arch-rival Louis Wan, who also happens to be from that same demonic god temple. It's getting crowded. And the palace itself is a whole other problem. Finally, let's talk about its dangerous secrets. The ancient heavenly palace isn't just ruins. It's a treacherous, fragmented dimension. Basically the tomb of the Sky Emperor. And this emperor, he was unbelievably strong, top tier even among Tianzizun, which is like a super high level of power. Inside, legendary techniques like the Three Proofs technique, yeah, but also countless deadly traps everywhere. And here's a twist. Turns out both Mantua Lolo and her rival Louis Wan actually originated from this palace, so there's some deep, personal stuff tied up in its ancient mysteries. Chen faces a continent-wide challenge at the ancient heavenly palace, where legendary power, fierce rivals, and ancient secrets are all about to collide.
This is the brief on the ancient heavenly palace gathering in Shi City. Okay, so picture this. Shi City. Used to be this sleepy little border town, right? Now, totally transformed, buzzing. Why? This super mysterious, highly sought-after ancient heavenly palace. It's pulling in tons of these really powerful young cultivators. You know, folks who wield spiritual energy. First off, we're talking an insane gathering of young talent. Seriously formidable people. You've got Liu Ming with his golden divine spear. This terrifying Jade Lotus Sword cultivator took down 4 top-tier Jizun Stage 8 experts in one move. Can you believe that? And even royalty. Sha Hong, a prince, 20th ranked on the whole Tianluo continent, rolling up in style. It's a big deal. Second, why all these young elites? Well, the palace has these dimensional rifts. Super unstable, super dangerous. So dangerous, even the really high-level Jizun masters can't get in. So, guess who might be able to slip in and grab opportunities? Yeah, this younger generation. They're kind of crucial here. Finally, the main focus? A really strange sign marked 2-2. An ancient artifact, immense power, supposedly linked to one of the palace's 5 original leaders, or marshals. Retrieving it cost a ton. And get this, it causes massive energy storms. Now, it's going up for auction. Super tense. Keep an eye on Chen, another key young figure. He plans to be there, maybe swoop in if things go sideways. So yeah, whoever gets this mysterious sign could basically decide the fate of the ancient heavenly palace, maybe even the continent.
This is the brief on the ancient heavenly palace plaque auction. So, City C is just buzzing right now. You've got all these powerful new-gen warriors flocking in for this massive auction, yeah? And it's packed with rare stuff from the legendary ancient heavenly palace. It's really where rising stars clash with some serious ambition. First off, the auction house itself? Totally electric. We saw some big names, you know, young elites like the pretty aggressive Sha Hong, the fierce Mu Shan, and King Ya, who's kind of watching everything closely. And then there's Chen. People sort of underestimate him because he's from the heavenly spell territory, which isn't exactly known for producing top dogs. Rivalry sparked up immediately, like Sha Hong trying to throw his weight around, but Mu Shan pushed back. King Ya, though, she seems to think Chen's got something special, like a real dark horse. Second, the first big item that got everyone talking was the Boiling Sea Pearl. Whoa, this thing's a pseudo-heavenly sovereign artifact, basically. Near godlike power, powerful enough to split oceans. It kicked off this insane bidding war. Sha Hong nabbed it in the end for a whopping 16 million drops of sovereign liquid. That's like super vital juice for getting stronger. Interestingly, Chen, who has his own ace, the life-extinguishing eye, just sat it out. Smart move, maybe? And finally, the second item, an ancient bronze scroll called the Incomplete Nine-Dragon God Slaughter Array Map. This one made people pause. It's described as a ridiculously powerful Grandmaster-level spirit array. Think a magic setup that could mess up even an Earth Sovereign, one of the strongest fighter ranks out there. But it's incomplete, right? So most folks hesitated. But then, bam, Chen throws down a 6 million drop bid. Totally unexpected. Makes you wonder what he knows, right? Like maybe he can actually finish it or use it somehow.
So yeah, this auction really puts the spotlight on incredible wealth, ancient power, and these simmering rivalries heating up among the continent's next wave of warriors.
This is the brief on a high-stakes fantasy auction. So we're going to dive into the Great Ruler, an epic world where powerful cultivators, folks who train to get superhuman abilities, engage in these thrilling bidding wars for ancient, rare artifacts, stuff that could totally reshape their power and, well, their whole destiny. Okay, first up, we saw some serious bidding for this thing called an incomplete formation diagram. Our main guy, Chen, he initially went head-to-head with a rival, Bai, who's like a top expert from this fancy formation academy. The price just shot up. Chen thought he had it, but then his other rival, Shi Hong, kind of spitefully jumped in, pushing the cost way, way higher. Chen ended up paying a ton of this valuable energy stuff called Zijun liquid. But even so, he felt pretty good about it, thinking it might actually be the legendary Nine Gods Dragon Slaying formation. A real game changer, right? Right. Second, the main event. It was this ancient gold plaque. Turns out, it's the Two Commanders token, basically a key to the legendary ancient heavenly court. You're talking immense power, ancient secrets, the whole shebang. So the bidding just exploded. All these big shots were throwing down. Chen tried, really pushed his limits financially, but Shi Hong just went big, slapping down this astronomical sum. Looked like he'd snagged the token and all that power. And finally, get this, just when Shi Hong thought he'd won, out of nowhere, this mysterious woman, just casually munching on a magic fruit, right? She drops this insane bid, 45 million Zijun liquid, boom. Everyone was stunned, totally changed the whole game, and now there's this powerful new player on the board. So yeah, this crazy auction, all driven by rivalry and ambition, ended with a shocker that's definitely going to shake things up big time. This is the brief on the high-stakes auction and a powerful reunion. Okay, so imagine this. You're at this wild auction, right? And bam! Our guy Chen runs into the incredibly powerful Princess Lin Jing. Talk about unexpected. This reunion kicks off a whole series of events, showing off some serious power, strategic moves, and even ancient techniques. First off, you really get a sense of Lin Jing's power, and honestly, just how loaded she is. She's not just any princess. Her dad's a top-tier cultivator. She completely shocks everyone, bidding a massive 45 million drops of Zijun liquid. That's like super valuable energy currency. And she does it so casually, just pours it out of a bottle, totally shutting down this arrogant guy, Xia Hong. But here's the kicker. She then turns around and gifts this insanely expensive plaque to Chen, paying back an old favor. Wow. Second, we see Chen's thinking strategically under pressure. After all that auction drama, Chen and his crew realize, uh-oh, we've got targets on our backs now. See, their group isn't super well known in this area, so they look like easy pickings. But does Chen panic? Nope. Stays cool, decides they're going to stay put right there in City 4 and make a stand. Basically, he plans to make an example of someone to warn everyone else off, establish their reputation instead of running away. Finally, let's talk about this potentially game-changing item, the Nine-Dragon God-Slaying Formation Diagram. Chen's got his eye on this incomplete diagram. Now, even missing pieces, this thing is apparently strong enough to take on a DG Zizun, a really high-level expert. He can already picture it fully powered up, 9 spirit dragons, made from actual dragon bones, attacking a master cultivator. And since Chen's own mother was a legendary expert in these kinds of array techniques, you know he's planning to master this powerful formation.
So yeah, this whole episode shows how one reunion and a flashy auction win suddenly throws everything into high gear, revealing massive power plays and teasing some incredible ancient skills to come.